Yo, 345 Mafia, what's up? What's going on? What's going down? What's happening? This your boy No C. Checking back in on the We Are Venom 345 channel. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Today, what we're going to do is go ahead and get an oil change for Venom. A little bit past due by my standards. You know, we'll talk about that later in the video. What kind of oil do I use? How frequently do I get my oil changed? Etc., etc. So we'll get into that. We're up here at my favorite place in the world that isn't home. Tapped Performance, TAPPED Performance, out in Princeton, Texas / McKinney, Texas, with my guy Rick Tapp and lead tech Jerry. You know Jerry as at the Hellwagon on Twitter. Well, actually, I don't know if Jerry has a Twitter. We'll find out when we get in here. But I know he has it on IG. So IG at the Hellwagon. Check him out there. Also, his YouTube channel, The Hellwagon. You see the goodies that he has going on in his world. But that's the only guy that I let, other than myself, put hands on Venom. So we're going to get in here, get into this oil change. We have a little bit of an exhaust tweak that we're going to do. I haven't decided if I'm going to say on camera what that is, because, you know, Fed's taking pictures, right? Fed's taking pictures. So we're going to get in here, see what it do, and get to it, man. Make sure you stay tuned for every single video that comes up. This is going to be a channel dedicated to not only building up this particular car that I have, but also another that's coming. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things, car reviews, and we're going to kind of span the spectrum. We're going to have a lot of fun. So let me get in here and let's do this regular maintenance with a little bit of a twist, and we'll go from there. All right, holla. Ladies and gentlemen, up here at Tap Performance, TAPPED Performance in Princeton / McKinney, Texas. Seductive. Up here with my guy Jerry. Like I said, y'all know him as the Hellwagon on IG and on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to him. Make sure that you turn on his notification bell. Basically, everything that you do for me, do for him. ×2. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We up here getting the oil change and a little bit of an exhaust tweak to get the CELs turned off permanently. I don't know if I want to exactly say what that is on camera because Fed's taking pictures. We might keep that to ourselves. Let's see. All right. All right. So for the folks that want to know, because you know, in the forums, YouTube, IG, hell, even on Twitter, a lot of people want to know, you know, what kind of oil everybody's running and everything like that. And obviously, it's going to kind of depend on what your setup is. OEM is always going to be the best. As far as your viscosity is concerned, kind of stick with your OEM recommendation. But once you start building, you know, you kind of vary from there. Then, of course, depending on what season it is, where you're located in the country, you know, you can. I know people who change their viscosity up from summer to winter because they want a little bit thicker in winter, a little bit thinner, or the other way around. Yeah, a little bit thicker in summer, a little bit thinner in winter, because obviously as the oil heats up, it starts to thin itself out a little bit anyway. So just something to keep in mind there. Here's the Rockstar Supercharged, baby. Supercharged. My guy Jerry did this work right here in Tap Performance. Magnuson Supercharger. That's his blood, sweat, and tears, and I literally mean some of his blood is probably still in there. Probably. Cause He did it. That was when the shop was moving from the literal McKinney location over to Princeton, where we are right now. And the lift hadn't made it over just yet. But, you know, Jerry, being the fantastic human being that he is, went ahead and still did my build for me. And he did the whole supercharger setup, all the plumbing without a lift, ladies and gentlemen, without a lift. So when you're talking about He-Man, that's He-Man right there. That's He-Man right there. So the oil that I'm running, we're going with Pennzoil. We'll stick with the Pennzoil. I literally just passed 75,000. So we're going to kick up the additives just a little bit. So we went with the Platinum High Mileage, full synthetic. We're sticking with the OEM viscosity recommendation. We're still going to go to 5W20 because even though it's cold out here in Texas right now, it's not necessarily Midwest type cold. It's not Northeast type cold. It's not like minus, you know, any type of Fahrenheit up here or down here, I should say. So this is what we're running. Pennzoil Platinum High Mileage, full synthetic 5W20. And obviously we're gonna go upgrade a little bit on the oil filter. So instead of going with the OEM oil filter, we're gonna rock with the Mobile One. Can't go wrong with the Mobile One. Extended performance. It's good for up to 20,000 miles. But if you're anything like me, you never run things to the limit. So we'll probably get a couple of good oil changes in on that 20,000 mile filter, and then we'll swap it out. I'm not gonna let that get anywhere near 10,000, let alone 20,000. Just like with the oil, we run full synthetic, so you could let that run 5,000, but I don't run 5,000. I still swap it out between 2,500, 3,000. This is Rick Tapp, the owner of Tapp Performance, on the phone. Busy man as always, getting things popping. Y'all can see what's going on here. This is, like I said in the intro vid, this is home away from home for me. This is where I spend my retirement fund. Right. Yeah, this is where Jerry takes it. Get it right, keep it right. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough heat exchanger just peeking at you. It's just peeking at you like, hey, let's get some of this hot trash out of here. Oh yeah. And yeah, the car's a little dirtier than it normally is. Anybody who knows me knows I hate a dirty car, so I'm always detailing mine. But it's winter, so cut that shit out. I'll get back to it when it warms up a little bit. But so it's not necessarily weekly on the detail like it normally is, or sometimes, you know, multiple times during the week. Now, you know, it's just whenever I can get to it. There's not a lot of getting out and going to shows and meets right now. That'll kick back off when the temps start picking back up. So, what I was going to say is I can't stress, ladies and gentlemen, enough. Regular maintenance on your vehicle. Regular maintenance on your vehicle. It's a little bit of money here and there to make sure that you don't end up having to spend a shitload of money down the road because you did not regularly maintain your car. Especially these cars, for those that kind of get on them and beat them up a little bit. I baby mine. So yeah, even though my 5.7 is supercharged, I have my fun, but I do not bully it. I don't beat the shit out of it. And I still baby it to make sure that I don't have any problems. So for those that want to check out the undercarriage of it, here's my Stainless Works long tubes. And I got a walk around video coming for you guys once we hit a certain number of subscribers and likes and shares. Hint, hint, get those numbers up and we'll do a full walk around, but I'll give you a glimpse of the underside. So we got our Stainless Works headers going into high flow catted mids. And then it's custom fab from there back. So we got the 3-inch custom fab X pipe, 3 inches coming back to the Dynomax Racing Bullets as the mids. Keep the pumpkin swap, right? Jerry likes to call them rear ends because he's a tech. It's a diff to me. So we swapped the diff out for the 309 so we can make sure we're getting the power down, obviously. So far as the exhaust coming back, 3 inches, dumping off into some Flowmaster Outlaws. So yeah, she's a neighbor waker. She's a neighbor waker. We got some more things coming, obviously. I'm not gonna do any spoilers. Stay tuned to the channel. While Jerry's working on that, we're gonna take a quick peek around the shop. Obviously, they got a lot going on. They always do. 2 fantastic guys, and my opinion is none better in the business. Especially when it comes to Mopar building and tuning. The shop does tuning as well. And if you don't know shit about tuning when it comes to Mopars, Mopar PCMs are a bitch to tune. They are finicky. They don't like to be finagled with. So make sure that your tuner is somebody with a ton of experience in tuning Mopar specifically. You know, try to stay away from shops and tuners that kind of jump around from GM to Ford, dabble a little bit in Mopar tuning. Not to say they can't do the job, but the odds of them being able to understand the nuances of a Mopar PCM when issues arise during the tune, and trust me, and Jerry will attest to this, issues will arise in your tune. That is just how the shit goes. So when you start building shit and changing shit, shit breaks, shit goes wrong, there are hiccups. You need to make sure you have people working on your vehicle that know exactly what to do when those situations come up. So we got, this is a machine. This is where they fabricate some of the parts, right? So I mean that these guys they're all on it, right? So you see what's going on here, and they got a kitty up there on the dyno right now. I'm gonna go take a peek at this kitty. What's going on with this kitty, Jerry? Yeah. And he was on the phone, but there he is again. That's Rick Tap, ladies and gentlemen. That's the owner of the shop. That's the tuner. Rick, he got some good time, and I was just telling him how important it is to make sure they get the right tuner. Somebody that knows how to deal with Mopars and how finicky the PCMs are on Mopars, and not necessarily somebody that dabbles in Mopar, but specializes like in the GM tuning. And, you know, so when you come to a guy like Rick is the guy that tuned Venom. Rick knows Venom's PCM inside and out. He's actually going to do a flash for me today, but I'm not going to mention it at this moment. I'm going to break it so it could be a second video that we drop later on. But this is my tuner. Jerry's my builder. Tap Performance in Princeton, McKinney area is my shop. Here's the dyno. If you guys go back and look at, I think it's the first video that I put on the channel. The dyno that Venom was on was this very one. This is the dyno that Rick was tuning it on. And like I said, fantastic job. Obviously there were a couple of hiccups, but that is to be expected whenever you start building and going inside that PCM and making some changes, especially with the size of the build that we did on this 5.7, because it's more than just supercharged. There's a lot of different add-ons that we put to support the power, and we had to make sure that it was dialed in right. So no, we didn't do a remote email tune, not to knock anyone who does, but you want to make sure that you dial your car in as best as possible. So we're going to let Jerry do his thing, and I'm going to bother him about some other mods I don't want y'all to hear about just yet. And we'll be back in a minute. Yeah. Jerry's getting us taken care of just that quick. I mean, for you guys, it was extra quick because I cut out. But in real time, it really only took him like 5 minutes to get the oil swapped out, get that new filter in. So now we're doing a couple things on the O2 sensors. Hint, hint, clear those check engine lights for good. But while he's doing that, kind of a preview, sneak preview of what's coming on Venom. You guys see this block right here? This is a 5.7 block that we're actually going to build out completely. That way, while we're building this out so that we can swap it into Venom when the time comes, it's going to be a quick turnaround from me dropping Venom off here at TAP to me taking Venom home and having some fun with this new motor. So this is going to be fully built. No matter what Jerry tells me and tries to convince me of, we are not going to stroke the motor. We're going to keep it at a 345. We're not going to 397 or 426. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it. We're gonna keep it true to the brand. This channel is for my 5.7ers. This is for 345 gang. This is what we do. I am not going to stroke it. What we're going to do is push the 345 displacement as far as we can take it so we can show you what it can do. So
how pretty is that 440
okay, tell them what that is.
So
tell
this
them
is the brand new BGE 440 stroker. It'll be 13.5 for one compression with a packing head. This is just a 6.1 cylinder head. We got the Demon Thunder can from TAP. And then I've got a set of heads. I got all my valve train and everything ready for it.
it's beautiful. It really is. Hey, and when he says Dakota, there's his Dakota on the side of that shaft.
85 always. Because we like the quarantine around here.
So you're not gonna flex the Dakota?
Nah, just I can't.
Ah, you did tell me. That's right.
I would like to,
but it won't handle it. Yeah. I got it. Now, okay, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You are correct. The potential on it is insane. But I'm trying to prove a point. And my point is, for those that are driving the 5.7, driving the 345, you guys and you gals know there's a lot of disrespect for the 345 out here, especially once the scats came back around. And when I say came back around, you have to know your Mopar history to know that this is not the first iteration of the brand Scat Pack. Go do your homework and you'll see that this is a rebirth. But once the rebirth of the Scat Pack came and it came attached to the 392, that became more of the trendy thing from a Dodge marketing standpoint, that and the Hellcat. And love the Scats, love the Hellcats, and obviously the higher levels, you know, the Super Stocks, the Demons, the Red Eyes, so forth and so on. But at some point, the Godfather motor, being the 5.7, crossed over to being overlooked. And there are a few out there who are giving it much respect and showing you guys what the potential of it are. You know, a guy like RT Life, for example, great guy, great follow. Check him out on YouTube. Donnie57, he's another. And I'm jumping into the fray to show you guys and gals what can be done with this 5.7. So I will say never, because when you're dealing with builders, never say never. But for the foreseeable future, we're going to keep it at a 5.7, keep it at the 345 displacement, and then we'll go from there. Once we get to, you know, phase 4 of the build, by that point, we'll be putting down some just crazy numbers, and the car will no longer double as one of my dailies. It'll be a track car exclusively at that point, you know. So once we start hitting that level, then we'll start talking about maybe we'll stroke it. But until then, I really want to show you guys and gals what the 345 can do. What are some good add-ons? What are some bullshit add-ons? What to, you know, not waste your money on? What to spend your money on? And we've all made mistakes, and you know, let my mistakes save you from yours, as I let Jerry's mistakes save me from mine. And then I still end up messing up and buying something I shouldn't have bought. And then, you know, we end up swapping it out. But you live and you learn. That's the fun. Yeah, that's the fun. That's the fun. So this is the block that we're gonna have built out. And we'll get that installed. Once we get it built out, we have to decide on some of the options, you know, compression ratios and things like that, and then we'll get it sent out to the shop. And we won't say what shop just yet because, you know, maybe they'll sponsor us, Jerry. So I'll get with them and see if they're willing to sponsor the build before we drop their name and do them that favor. So yeah, big things coming, man. Big things coming. 5'7", 345 gang. I got you. Stay tuned, I got you. So as Jerry wraps up with Venom, just another little clip to show you guys what's going on in the shop. You see we got another motor over here. Is this being built up or what? Yeah, cause this is brand new. This Hellcat. Oh, okay. That's all. Ah, okay, I got you. Got some parts that we pulled. Kind of peek at the Brimbos. No, you can't have them. Those are mine. Sneak preview, hint of what might be to come. Got a front fascia right here. I mean, these guys are working. Y'all got to get in here and let them put hands on your Mopar. Let them put hands on it. And it does not have to be a Hemi. It doesn't have to be the 6'2", the 5'7", the 6'4". If you have a V6, if you have an SXT or a GT, come up here and talk to these guys. Talk to Jerry, talk to Rick, talk about, you know, some of the plans that you have for it. They are not, you know, the pushy kind. They're not going to be the shop, and they've never been the shop that looks you in the face and say, oh, your car sucks, you need to drop 10 grand to do this and this. They really want to have a conversation with you to figure out, you know, what your goals are, what's your end game, help you kind of build out to that instead of, you know, just doing a whole bunch of a la carte, which they'll do for you. But it should always be about the end game. That way you'll save a lot of money down the road. And I made, you know, some mistakes myself in that aspect. The short tube headers were a good example. You know, I swapped the OEM exhaust manifold out for the short tube headers before I made a decision if I was going to keep the vehicle naturally aspirated or if I was going to boost it. And then once we boosted it, obviously the short tube headers were not the way to go. So we dropped those out, put in the long tubes. But things like that, and you live and you learn. But I say all that to say, especially for you V6s as well, you guys get a lot of disrespect also, never from me, because I remember where I came from and everybody ain't able. So sometimes you just gotta ride the six banger until you can do more. And you know, I have a second vehicle and I'll show a video on that, or another vehicle I should say, and it's still a V6, and that vehicle is near and dear to my heart, and I would never sell it. And Jerry and I are gonna, you know, we're in conversations as far as what to do with that vehicle, what plans I might have for that one. And this is what I mean. When you come to a shop, make sure that they have your best interest at heart and they're not simply trying to get money out of you and get on to the next customer. That is not what they do here at Tap Performance. I am not saying this simply because they are a sponsor of Venom and Mopar Social Club, of which Jerry is a member. I myself am the VP. Shouts out to Chris, the Prez. Make sure you follow us. Follow the club's page on Instagram, Mopar Social Club _Dallas. Check out all the vehicles we have there. We have one hell of a lineup, very diverse. We have V6s in our club. We have V6s. We have, here we go, supercharged 5.7. We have a naturally aspirated 5.7. We have TRX. We have the Hellcat Durango. We have Hellcat Challengers, Hellcat Chargers. We have Scat Packs. So, as well, we got the Hell Wagon, right? Ladies and gentlemen, make sure, and I'm gonna say this again. I said this in the intro before he even pulled the car in. I said it in the when he pulled the car in. Check out at the Hell Wagon on YouTube. Subscribe to that page. Check him out on Instagram at the Hell Wagon. Make sure you follow him there. Go through and like his pictures. He has the Dodge Magnum with the Hellcat motor swapped in, and I'm not going to, spoil any of his content, but he just did a major mod to his transmission, and you gotta go check it out. You have to go check it out. I literally have not seen it done ever. And I'm you know, I'm not omnipotent. I'm sure somewhere on earth someone has done it. I hadn't seen it done until Jerry did it to his Hellwagon. So make sure you check that out. This guy is a Viper certified technician. There is nobody, once he puts hands on your car, he's the last person that you will ever want to put hands on your car other than yourself. And unless you know what you're doing, you probably shouldn't put hands on your own car either. So, just a fantastic shop, man. And again, I'm not simply saying this because the shop sponsors our club, Mopar Social Club Dallas, or my build. But the reason I asked and I got with Jerry and Rick on sponsoring this build, it wasn't before the build was done. It was afterwards, and you know, months and years of working with this guy, and saw what they can do, see how the car runs, see how they handle people. Always pleasant, always available for you, always going the extra mile to make sure you're taken care of. It was at that point that I said, hey, we need to jump off into a partnership, because anybody who knows me, anybody who knows No C knows I'm all about my word, and I won't put my word and name on anything that is questionable or that's going to screw somebody over. So check out Tap Performance, Princeton/McKinney, Texas. If you got a Mopar, they got everything that you want. Look, I mean, right here, man. They're cracking open PCMs to make sure things are where they need to be. These guys are working. These guys are working. So we'll let Jerry wrap up, and we're gonna let him get on with it, man.